faithfully delivering value, interpreting great books from around the world. Hello, this is Sally's Book Talk. Today, we'll explore the book, The Elements of Happiness. When life gets tough, what are your go-to methods for lifting your mood? Feel free to share your methods in the comments section. The Elements of Happiness was written specifically in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. And the author of the book, Tal Ben-Shahar, holds a master's in psychology and PhD in organizational behavior from Harvard and teaches Harvard's most popular course. He pioneered Harvard's positive psychology course, focused on achieving happiness through positive psychology, famously known as the Happiness Course. Shahar has also authored several best-selling books exploring happiness. Our program, Sally's Book Talk, has previously covered his masterpiece, Happier. Ben-Shahar discovered COVID-19 impacted not just physical and economic health, but mental well-being too. During the pandemic, many developed anxiety and depression symptoms. This made their lives even more challenging. Ben-Shahar believes the tougher times get, the more we need happiness power. Studies show happier people have stronger physical and mental resilience, handle adversity better, and solve problems more effectively. Even when failing, they persist with hope rather than despair, ultimately overcoming challenges. To help boost happiness during pandemic hardships, in 2020, Ben-Shahar launched lectures on maintaining happiness through adversity. After 6 lectures, he expanded the content into this book, The Elements of Happiness. This 120,000-word book, across 5 chapters, breaks happiness into spiritual, physical, intellectual, relational, and emotional well-being. It explains each element's role and provides practical methods to cultivate them. Peng Kai-ping, Dean of Tsinghua's Social Sciences, and New Oriental founder Yumin Hong praise it for helping people navigate sorrow and rediscover motivation. Now, I'll unpack the book's core ideas through these 5 happiness elements. First, spiritual well-being, achieved through finding purpose and practicing mindfulness. First, let's talk about finding a sense of purpose. Different people have different views on work. The author categorizes these views into 3 types: job, career, and calling. A job is something you have to do out of necessity, like working to support your family. People who see work as a job don't aim to do it better, they just do the bare minimum. What they look forward to is resting after finishing the task. Others see work as a career with prospects and rewards. They actively strive to do better. This way, they can earn more bonuses and get promoted. Those who see work as a calling focus more on its meaning and value to others. They believe their work can make the world better and experience strong passion and happiness at work. Well,
A sense of calling isn't much about the work content. It depends on how you view it. Even the most tedious work can hold a sense of purpose.
the author gives an example. A bank loan officer's job is to review clients' creditworthiness and process mortgages. This job involves dealing with data and forms all day. Many officers see it as a tedious job, but the author has also met officers with a sense of calling. The author went to the bank to apply for a mortgage when buying a house. The process was very complex, involving lots of calculations and signing agreements. But the loan officer who assisted him was always very cheerful, smiling and chatting happily. The author asked him, "Why do you like your job so much?" The officer replied, "Because every day I help people achieve their dreams, and today I'll help you achieve yours." That's the calling. This not only makes people happier, but also improves work performance. American psychologist Adam Grant conducted a study on a group of telemarketers. Their task was to fundraise for a university to support more students. And most people who answered the calls weren't interested and would reject the fundraising. So the telemarketer's job was highly frustrating. Grant divided the telemarketers into 2 groups. The first group continued calling nonstop as before. The second group had to talk to a college student for 15 minutes before starting work. And this student was a beneficiary of the fundraising. The student told the telemarketers about the wonderful time he had at university and all he learned. He was very grateful for the fundraising assistance. After the conversation, these salespeople would continue making calls. Grant found that, compared to the first group, the second group's salespeople worked with more passion and diligence. Ultimately, the second group raised 2 to 4 times more funds than the first group. That's the performance boost from having a calling. Cultivating purpose isn't just for work. We can find it in all life areas, especially in families with children. Parents can view cleaning as protecting their children's health, not just tidying up. Or see cooking as providing nutrients for growth, not just preventing hunger. During the pandemic, many were cut off from normal work and social life, staying home with family. At such times, we need to actively seek purpose to find happiness in daily routines. We can ask ourselves, how do my daily actions affect my family? What kind of life do I want for them? From these questions, we discover our sense of purpose. That covers purpose. Now, the second path to spiritual well-being, presence. The pandemic brought great uncertainty, disrupting routines with no clear return to normalcy or what surprises might come. Facing uncertainty, people easily imagine worst-case scenarios: job loss, COVID infection, long-term effects. These thoughts create intense anxiety, and presence is the antidote. When focused on the present task, attention shifts from future worries, and anxiety naturally fades. Completing present tasks also brings control and certainty, fostering positive emotions. You can practice presence through mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness originates from Buddhism, meaning non-judgmental awareness. The focus can be anything: breath, sensations, actions, etc. A common mindfulness practice is meditation. Find a quiet space, sit or lie comfortably, breathe gently, then focus on where you feel sensations most distinctly. As your breath changes, you can focus on the airflow around your nostrils or your abdomen. It's natural for your mind to wander as you follow the breath's rhythm. If you notice wandering thoughts, don't judge yourself. Simply return focus to your breath. Start with 3 to 5 minutes of daily mindfulness practice. Gradually extend sessions to 20 or 30 minutes as you gain experience. Numerous studies confirm mindfulness meditation's benefits. Researchers at University of Massachusetts conducted an 8-week mindfulness program with weekly 3-hour classes plus daily 45-minute practice. After 8 weeks, participants showed more positive emotions, lower anxiety, and greater sociability compared to the control group. Researchers also exposed both groups to cold viruses and measured immune responses. Results showed meditators produced significantly more antibodies. This demonstrates mindfulness builds both psychological and physical resilience. Mindfulness extends beyond meditation. Our ultimate goal is mindful living. Whether reading, exercising, working, or eating, stay present and gently refocus when distracted. These are all mindfulness practices. The longer we maintain mindfulness in daily life, the more spiritual well-being we experience. Having covered spiritual well-being, let's explore the second element. Physical and mental health are deeply interconnected. When physically unwell, people experience low mood and mental sluggishness. But when healthy and energetic, they approach problems more optimistically and proactively. During pandemics, prioritizing physical health boosts immunity, reduces infection risk, and builds mental resilience for challenges. The author presents 2 methods for maintaining physical health. First is rest. Chronic stress contributes to heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, and weakens immunity. With constant life pressures, avoiding chronic stress requires regular rest for natural recovery. Rest can be categorized into short-term, medium-term, and long-term. Short-term rest means taking 15-minute breaks every 2 hours. Have coffee, walk around, or listen to music. Mindfulness meditation mentioned earlier is also excellent for short breaks. If 15 minutes isn't possible, take 30 seconds for deep breathing. Inhale for 5-6 seconds, Exhale 5-6 seconds, repeat 3-4 times to feel relaxed. Medium-term rest involves longer periods like weekly days off and sufficient sleep. Adults generally need 7 to 9 hours nightly. Sleep deprivation increases depression and anxiety risks. Insufficient sleep also weakens immunity, memory, and cognition, damaging overall health. No matter how busy work gets, prioritize sleep to perform better. Improve sleep quality with warm baths, avoiding phones, or listening to relaxing music before bed. If nighttime sleep is insufficient, consider midday naps. Long-term rest means completely disconnecting for days or weeks, like annual vacations many workers take. Studies show long breaks boost work efficiency and creativity afterward. All three rest types are essential and irreplaceable. Regardless of workload, make time for rest to maintain physical resilience. Now, the second health method, exercise. We know it's beneficial, but what intensity works best? This varies individually. Adjust based on personal experience. The author recommends at least 30 minutes of aerobic exercise 3 times weekly. Ideally, aim for 5 45-minute aerobic sessions weekly. During the pandemic, people often couldn't go out and many gyms were closed. You can find aerobic workout videos online and follow along at home. Beyond dedicated exercise, simple daily activities also benefit health. More doctors recognize prolonged sitting harms health, causing spinal issues and increasing cardiovascular risks. Doctors widely recommend standing and moving every half hour of sitting. That covers physical well-being. Now, the third element, intellectual well-being, finding joy through learning. With pandemic lockdowns, many had ample free time at home, a perfect chance to learn something new. There are 3 ways to cultivate intellectual well-being. First, reigniting learning interest. While learning sounds dull, the author believes everyone can enjoy it through innate curiosity. Those uninterested simply haven't found their spark. So we should explore what sparks our curiosity and motivates deep dives. From astronomy to arts, math to sculpture, everyone can find a field to enjoy passionately. If nothing sparks interest yet, pick a tolerable field and start. Over time, genuine interest may grow. Self-perception theory explains this. We form self-views by observing our actions, which then reinforce those behaviors. Regular good deeds make people view themselves as kind, prompting more kindness. Daily reading makes one identify as a reader, leading to more reading. As the author puts it, if lacking interest in learning, fake it till you make it. The second method for intellectual well-being, deep learning, which requires meticulous and thorough study. Take reading articles. Deep readers focus on just one passage daily, analyzing it word by word. Examining how each sentence carries multiple meanings allows deeper enjoyment of learning. Deep reading fosters better understanding of the author's intent and creates stronger resonance. Deeply appreciating artwork reveals overlooked details and historical context, enhancing its appeal. Moreover, deep learning trains observation and analytical skills applicable to many situations. The author illustrates, in relationships, people rarely express thoughts and emotions fully. Understanding others requires reading between lines while noticing expressions and body language. This skill fundamentally aligns with what deep reading cultivates. The author believes skilled deep readers naturally excel in social interactions. The third method, embracing failure. Failure is inevitable when learning new things. Psychologist Dean Simonton from University of California studied greats like Mozart, Edison, and Shakespeare. He discovered these luminaries shared one trait: they failed more frequently than most. For instance, Edison tested over 10,000 materials before finding tungsten for light bulb filaments. Yet many fear failure, seeing it as personal rejection, exhausting energy to avoid risks. This mindset obstructs learning enjoyment. To overcome failure fear, cultivate a growth mindset. Fear often stems from fixed mindset. Fixed mindset believes abilities are innate and unchangeable. People are either smart or not, either talented at something or not. Through fixed mindset lens, one failure proves incompetence, making further effort pointless. Growth mindset believes abilities are malleable. Through persistent effort and learning from failure, we improve. Thus, growth mindset welcomes failure, not as self-rejection, but as stepping stones for growth. To develop growth mindset, adopt long-term perspective. Meaningful achievements require patience and time. Shift focus from outcomes to process. Acknowledge efforts made and improvements gained. This way, even imperfect results feel valuable as tangible progress, building confidence to persist. For more on growth mindset, check our previous coverage of Mindset, the New Psychology of Success. Having covered intellectual well-being, let's explore the fourth element, relational well-being, meaningful connections. Psychological studies consistently show relationships, especially emotionally supportive ones, most impact happiness. Strong relationships not only increase joy, but help navigate hardships and overcome low points. Nations ranking highest in happiness, Denmark, Israel, Norway, culturally prioritize social bonds. In Denmark, 93% actively participate in social clubs where mutual support strengthens community ties. In Israel, family time is considered sacred, fostering deep connections that elevate happiness. What can individuals do to cultivate relational well-being? The author offers two main suggestions. First, reduce online interactions to build deeper in-person relationships. Modern society increasingly favors digital communication. While convenient, it has inherent limitations. Online invisibility diminishes authentic connection and presence. Plus, digital content's brevity and emotional volatility prevent meaningful discussion, keeping relationships superficial. So, the author points out that deep, emotionally supportive relationships need to be built through face-to-face, offline interactions.
In offline interactions, we can have in-depth discussions on a topic.
We receive not just words, but also facial expressions, tone, and body language, which enhance mutual understanding and build stronger relationships. Moreover, offline interactions cultivate our empathy. Online, it's hard to see virtual IDs as real people and think from their perspective. But in real-world communication, we directly experience others' emotions, laughing and crying together. We also intuitively see how others react to our actions. Through this, empathy gradually develops, helping us better understand others and build deep connections. During the pandemic, many are stuck at home, relying on the internet for study and work, spending more time online than usual. In such situations, we should reduce unnecessary online socializing and spend time on face-to-face interactions with family. For example, set aside daily time to chat with family, share experiences, or discuss social topics deeply. Besides talking, doing things together is also a form of communication. Through mutual cooperation, people build trust and understanding. So whether cooking or cleaning with a partner or building blocks with children, it helps establish deep relationships and relational happiness. The second suggestion is giving. As the saying goes, giving roses leaves fragrance on your hands. Many psychological studies show that when we give to others, our own happiness increases, making us more positive and optimistic. Believing that our efforts make the world better brings great happiness. Anyone can give something. Doing chores for a partner, listening to others' thoughts, or sharing knowledge are all forms of giving. As long as you have good intentions, you can always find opportunities to give. The author also reminds us that giving doesn't mean neglecting oneself. We should care for our own needs and invest in ourselves. This isn't selfish. Only after meeting our own needs can we better help others. The author defines healthy giving as self-regard. People who self-regard invest in themselves and others. They perform better in both life and work. American psychologist Adam Grant studied workplace performance. He found top and bottom performers are both givers. The difference is, top performers practice self-regard. They prioritize their own tasks first, help others after completing work, accept help actively, achieving excellence. Lowest performers overextend themselves, take on excessive work, end up exhausted and ineffective. Now we introduce the fifth element, emotional well-being. Pandemic challenges bring low moods and pessimism, impairing problem solving, requiring emotional regulation methods. The author presents two methods for emotional well-being. First method, accepting painful emotions like sadness, anxiety, and intense fear. People often see painful emotions as harmful. When they arise, many reject them. Some self-criticize for having them. Others suppress emotions without expression. Still others escape emotions through distraction. But these approaches backfire. Self-criticism creates new painful emotions. Suppressed or avoided emotions accumulate, triggering more pain. The right approach: treat painful emotions as normal experiences to fully accept, just like joyful ones. This way, painful emotions naturally subside. The author shares, after his child's birth, the doctor told him, "You'll experience intense emotions in coming months. You'll feel joy and happiness, but also frustration and anger, all completely normal." The author considers this the best advice he received upon becoming a father, because a month after the child's birth, he started feeling jealous. The child received most of his wife's attention and always came first. In contrast, no matter how exhausted or hardworking he was, it was difficult to get care from his wife. Without the doctor's advice, he would have thought himself a terrible father for being jealous of his own child. Such self-blame would cause more pain, but with the doctor's reminder, he chose to accept his jealousy, letting it flow through him naturally. He discovered that by not rejecting jealousy, it faded within minutes, allowing him to reconnect with his love for the child. The author also recommends 3 techniques to better accept painful emotions. Boston, first is crying. If you want to cry, then cry freely. Have a good cry. Scientific research shows crying releases feel-good chemicals that ease sadness and stress. The second technique for accepting painful emotions is confiding. Share your struggles with friends or family, like pandemic income loss or worries about loved ones' health. And expressing painful emotions significantly reduces their intensity. You'll also receive care and support from others, improving your well-being. The third technique is writing, another form of expression. Write down your hardships, thoughts, and feelings. This helps vent emotions and achieve emotional well-being. The second method is practicing gratitude. Good and bad happen to everyone. Your focus determines outcomes. Compared to those focusing on negatives, positive focusers are more optimistic, kind, and solution-oriented. But their actions inspire kindness from others and increase problem-solving success. This fosters more optimism, creating a virtuous cycle. Gratitude practice trains us to focus on positives, building emotional resilience. The author introduces 3 gratitude practices. First is keeping a gratitude journal. Set aside weekly or daily time to recall blessings. No matter how hard life gets, you can always find something to be grateful for. Be grateful for your health, others' help, or time spent with family. When journaling gratitude, don't just list. Close your eyes, relive those moments, re-experience the positive feelings before writing. This not only increases happiness, but deepens your memory of these events. The second gratitude practice, celebrating successes. Alongside gratitude journaling, record all your wins, no matter how small, like teaching a child to tie shoes, receiving praise at work, or cooking a new recipe successfully. This makes us thankful for our progress, building confidence and optimism. The third practice, writing gratitude letters. Think who positively impacted your life. Write them a letter explaining their influence and why you're grateful. If possible, read the letter aloud to them. Studies show gratitude letters boost positive emotions, deepen relationships, and even strengthen immunity for both writer and recipient. The author shares, his student Debbie wrote to her retired elementary basketball coach. Debbie said, reading the letter made the coach look 10 years younger. This made Debbie feel deeply happy too. With this, we've nearly covered all elements of happiness from the book. The author believes COVID brought immense challenges. We can't change the past, but we control present and future actions. From finding purpose and resting well to deep learning, building connections, and accepting difficult emotions. We have many paths to pursue happiness, and the strength gained will ultimately help us overcome darkness and welcome dawn. After this episode, which method feels most useful to you? Share your thoughts in the comments. That's the elements of happiness. This concludes our book interpretation. Show notes are below the audio. See you next time.